Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going over underpainting. Underpainting is the technique of laying down your bronzer, your blush, and your concealer first, and then going in and adding that foundation or skin tint on top. It's a technique that a lot of pro makeup artists use, and even just some everyday people that are makeup influencers or just love doing their makeup. It makes the makeup look honestly just so clean, elevated, and luxe. So if you want to learn how to do it, stay tuned. We're not going to talk too much. We're just going to get straight to it. I'll see you in the video. Hi y'all, welcome back. Today we are going to be going over underpainting. I'll be explaining what that is to you guys, debunking some of the myths of why it may be complicated. It's honestly very simple. You know, when you're looking to build a home, you don't just start painting the house immediately or moving furniture in and finding your pillows and your beds. You start with building a strong foundation. That's what underpainting is when it comes to makeup. We want to make sure that our base is laid down nicely on the skin and then put our foundation on the top. So underpainting is going in and adding in our contour, our blush, our highlight, and really structuring the face, then going in with foundation on the top. That allows you to, one, use less foundation, thus saving yourself more product, and two, just laying what you need where you need it. So underpainting is all about placement. Makeup in general is all about placing your products correctly and laying them down evenly. So let's get started. Before starting your underpainting, you definitely want to make sure your skin is prepped so it's nice and hydrated and ready to receive the makeup. If you need any tips, tricks on how to prep your skin, make sure you check out our former video, Skin Prep Updated for 2025. So when I'm starting my underpaint, I like to go in and contour first. This is the Patrick Ta contour and she's chiseled, and I just go in and place that where I want that contour to be. So you see I'm starting at the top of the ear and bringing it right into the cheek area, and then I'm just gonna blend that in. I'm also using a brush that's doing a lot of the work for me. And of course, I'm doing the same thing on both sides. It's also very important to have the right tools because that allows a lot of the work to be done for you. A good tool, aka a great brush, will save you so much time when doing your makeup. So I'm taking that to the forehead and I'm really just building out that look. I'm deciding, okay, where do I want the contour to be? Where do I want the blush to be? And blending that out. Also, don't be concerned if it looks too harsh because everything is gonna lay on top. So this is really the foundation of the look. It also will just, again, allow us to use less foundation in the end. You make a little mistake where you feel like, oh, like my contour is falling too low. We can always go in and correct that with just a little bit of concealer. So now I'm just buffing everything in. I have a larger forehead and I like that area to be nicely sculpted. So I am really generous in that area. If you have a smaller forehead, if you don't like contour in that place, you don't have to place it there. Now with the residue of what's on the brush, I'm just gonna bring that to the jawline just to add some structure there. And this is what our underpaint is looking like so far. This is just with the contour. So essentially, we're just building out our look. Now we're gonna go in with our blush. For blush today, we're gonna go in with a Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm blush. This is in the shade Jubilee. So I just stipple my brush into my product, pick up the amount that I need. I feel like there's a lot of product on the brush. I just take that to the back of my hand. I love skin to skin contact. This allows us to just get the amount of product that we need on the brush and not have too much or too little. Now I'm gonna take the brush to my cheek, and I like to place my blush right above my contour. This is a little bit more of a terracotta shade, so keeping it more natural. And then don't forget, after we lay the bronzer, the blush, the highlight, we can still go in and add more coverage on the top because we're still gonna set our face. But now you can see it's adding some color to the skin, which this makes me excited because blush is my favorite part. And I truly feel like it's what a lot of people love from every look. Now I'm going into the forehead and just reinforcing some of that blush, but keep in mind, it's just the excess. So we're not adding too much extra. I like to put some on my chin and nose just because when you're looking at a face, a canvas of beautiful makeup, you can never tell where things start and end. A lot of times your blush and just your products in general appear on the face a couple times, and that's what allows the look to look most cohesive. I bring my blush a little bit under my eyes just because I love that nice blushing look. And then when we apply our concealers, we're gonna blend the concealer into the blush so there is no lines of demarcation. Voila, okay, blush is now done. Now we're gonna go in with our concealers. Concealer, I'm gonna be using the LYS Beauty Concealer. This is the Triple Fix Full Coverage Concealer in TG7. I use two concealers, so this is my correcting shade. So I'm gonna place that right in the inner corner of the eye, and then a little bit on the forehead, right here above my Cupid's bow and on my chin. Just like that. I'm gonna let that sit for a second just because this concealer is super creamy and skin-like, which I love. The point of that is to not move around our product. We want the product to easily blend into the skin. Since this one's a little bit creamy, it does just need a little bit of time to get tacky. So when we blend it out, it has that nice, more full coverage look. So using the same brush that we used to do our blush, this is the all over face side, there's a concealer side. So we're gonna use the concealer side to blend out our concealer. So starting with the Cupid's bow, just blending that product out. And this is just adding highlight to the face. I add highlight to the face where the light naturally hits. So it's not like you're going against the grain. You're following where light will naturally hit on the face and just blending that in. Doing the same thing for right under the eye, going there and just blending that product out and blending it in towards the blush. Again, this allows there to be no lines of demarcation. Doing the same thing to both sides. Y'all know the drill. And then blending out that product on the forehead. And this is what we're looking like so far. Now going in with TG5, this is the lighter shade of concealer. This is really gonna bring that brightening to the front and center of the face. If you like a bright makeup look, this is the part that you would love the most. I go right into that same inner corner as we did before, and then I lift up the face, and I'm also gonna put a little in the center and down the bridge of the nose, because I'm placing my products where I want there to be more light and attention given to the face. Again, we're gonna give this a couple seconds to marinate and let it get a little tacky before we blend it out. While we wait, I'm actually gonna go in with TG7, the first concealer shade that we used, and use that to sculpt out the face under the contour, because we had a little bit of our contour fall below where I like the contour to fall. Just gonna blend that out a little with my finger. This also will help snatch the face. Feel free to do this step with a brush as well, bringing that towards the mouth just to have that really nice snatched look. And also, don't be concerned because we still haven't even put our foundation on top. I know, it's gonna come together really nicely and everything's just gonna peek through so beautifully. Now we're gonna use that same concealer brush and blend out the concealer. And I'm blending that product into the blush. And then I'm pulling this product down a little bit so it also blends into the blush, and then I'm also lifting. Then I can flip to the other side and just blend that blush out so that there's no lines of demarcation and everything is just applied nicely and smoothly. Now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. Lift that up, blend it out, take the other side of the brush. Press that into the skin. Do y'all see that cheek, like the snatch that's happening? It's beautiful. Blend out the bridge of the nose. Taking that brush again, blending out those lines. You see that makeup is literally just blend out, then blend together, blend out, then blend together, just because you want everything to be seamless, and that's what you have to do to get that look. Okay, so now this is what the face is looking like after the underpaint is done. We've done our contour / bronzer, whichever one you prefer. We've applied our blush, and we've now applied our concealer. We did our correcting shade of concealer and our brightening shade. This is what the face is looking like. She's sculpted, she's snatched, and now she needs a foundation or even a skin tint that you prefer to just blend everything together. Now that the base is complete and we've built the foundation of our home, now we just need a touch of paint on top. When I say paint, that means you can do a skin tint or a foundation. It really depends on the amount of coverage that you're wanting. We're gonna use the Milk Hydro Grip Skin Tint. I've been loving the skin tint. It's the most beautiful gel-like formula, and it melts into the skin beautifully and marries skin well together. So I figured this would be perfect to top over our underpaint. So I took the skin tint and applied that to the back of my hand. And when you're doing this technique, you don't need much product because we've already laid down the foundation. So we're literally just going in and pressing this into this. So picking up one of my favorite foundation brushes, the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Brush, and I'm dipping my brush into my product on the back of my hand. That's warming it up. That's making sure the product is evenly distributed through the bristles. So this is what the product looks like on my hand. This is what it looks like on my brush. And now I'm just gonna take that and press it into my skin. I'm starting at the bottom part of the face and I'm working my way up and around. So you see I stopped where the blush is. Now I'm taking it around my chin, above my mouth, into the other side. And as I'm running out of product, I'll just go back into my hand, dip into that, and then press that into the skin. Now you can already see everything looks so much more cohesive and is melting together beautifully. I'm taking it up the bridge of my nose to the forehead and just marrying where we had that concealer and the contour together. And now I'm just going right over that harsher line by the eye, but again, not blending it away. This is what the skin looks like after our skin tint. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm in love. I love the underpainting technique because it allows everything else to peek through. And it honestly just saves you a lot of product and time. At this step, if you feel like, I kind of feel like I have a little bit too much concealer or my concealer's too bright, you can just use the residue of what's on that brush and then just go in and blend it out together. I just turn my brush to the side so it just evenly gets into that space. Now it's time to set everything in place so that it lasts all day. And remember, anything that you apply to your face with a cream or liquid, if you want longevity, needs to be set with a powder. The powder gives it that beautiful matte blur and just allows everything to stay in place all day. Now for me, I do want my skin to still look like skin. I don't want it to be too matte. So I'm gonna go in with the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm powder to set the perimeter of my face. And then I'm gonna set the center of my face with some loose and pressed powder. So taking my same brush, I'm just gonna press into this product. Got some product on my brush now. I'm gonna press the excess off on my hand and then press what's on the brush into the skin. Now this product goes on creamy but sets as a powder. So it doesn't look like a powder traditionally going on, but it is setting. And I love this because you can use it at the surface of doing your makeup or at the end, like I'm doing now, making it also really great for doing a nice little touch-up. So I've taken that to the perimeter of my face. I'm really content with how that looks. Also remember, when you're doing your makeup, make sure to check in and see if you love it. And if you love it, that's all that matters, because at the end of the day, makeup is art and it's all about expression. So if you love what expression you're giving off, that's all that matters, honey. Now, before I go in and set my under eyes with powder, I'm just gonna blend the under eye out one more time. You never wanna set any fine lines or creases because then they'll show up. So you always wanna make sure you blend them out. I'm picking up my brush and the powder, dusting off the excess. We don't do that for no reason at all. We wanna make sure that the powder lays evenly on the skin. Now, as I'm looking up, I'm just going in and pressing that onto the skin on both sides, going right over the mouth. And I like to hit around my mouth because I'm a smiley girl, so I don't want my smile lines to show as much as I possibly can control them. I just add a little powder in there. I'll pick up a little extra powder and I'm just gonna put that on the lid of our eye just so that that area isn't too oily. And I'm super happy with how that looks. I like to be bright, so now I'm gonna go in with this pink brightening pressed powder to give me the perfect final seal. And using the same brush, I'm just gonna press that under the eye. This is just gonna bring us some nice brightening. Same thing, both sides. It looks so good, I literally cannot. Now we're gonna set that contour that we applied first with a little bit of powder. So going in with MAC Mineralized Skin Finish, one of my favorite powders. This is in the shade Dark Deepest, and I'm just sculpting out the face where we had originally laid the contour. And I love this powder because it's super lightweight, it gives great coverage, and it still gives the skin the most beautiful glow. That's what that mineralized does in the product. And I'm taking that around the perimeter of the face, literally everywhere we put the cream contour. And you see how it's just giving the most beautiful set, nothing too much, not overdone, just a little bit of bronzer in all the right places to warm up the face and give it that beautiful sculpted look. So for blush, you guys know we originally went in with Danessa Myricks Beauty Jubilee, which was more of a terracotta shade. Now I want to set my blush using something similar. So I'm feeling like some of these palettes. I love this shade down here mixed with a couple of these oranges. I feel like it'll give us that brightness under the eye and still honor the original color that we had used. So let's dive in. I'm gonna use that same brush that we used to apply a contour. I personally feel like the fun and joy in makeup is mixing colors together. So first I'm gonna go in and pick up this more terracotta-like shade, and then I'm gonna dive in and go back and forth between these two. Yeah, I like what we have going on here on the brush. I'm gonna use the back of my hand again just to dust off some of the excess and make sure we have a nice even blend. And I'm gonna take a little on this side and then a little on the other side of the cheek and kind of see where we're standing. I'm gonna dive back into this color. I just want more of that color on the face. Oh yeah, that looks so pretty. And I'm just gonna put a little bit more of that. Yeah, that's gorgeous. And again, I feel like y'all should know by now, but I'm a blush girl, so it's never too much or too little for me. I just love how it sculpts in. I just love how it sculpts out the face and brings the most beautiful coloring to the face. Yeah, that's so beautiful. Now I'm gonna go in with this orange and add a little bit of that. This shade is brighter, so it blends well with the under eye that we have going on for the brightness. Putting again a little bit on that nose like we did before, and then hitting the forehead with just the excess and the chin. One more powder, as you can see, this one is well loved. This is the Charlotte Tilbury finishing powder. This really gives that last final touch that really takes your makeup from good to great. I'm just pressing this right under the eye and into that blush. So again, you can't tell where it starts and ends, and it just all melts together flawlessly. I keep this in the center of the face, so I am just going right above my lip, but I'm not bringing it to too many other parts of my face. Plus, I'm kind of running low on product if you can't tell. I'm so happy with how this is looking. I'm ready to add what I like to call the bells and whistles, aka my lip, and add some mascara. For the mascara, I'm going in with one of my favorites, Tower 28. I'm using the black shade. Just gonna open up my mirror and just go in and coat my lashes. And if you wanted to do like a full-on eye look, you totally could. I love doing eyes last, but today I just want to keep it simple and really focus on just going over the underpaint technique. Man, I tell you, a little bit of mascara truly goes a long way. And to think I didn't wear mascara for years, this Tower 28 mascara is actually the mascara that got me back into wearing mascaras, believe it or not. Mascara eye versus no mascara eye. Let's give this eye some mascara so she can equally be as loved as the other. Sometimes I seriously don't wonder why I took a break from mascara, because look at what just a little mascara did for my eyes. It just wakes them up a notch, especially if you're not putting on any shadow or liner or anything. It really just gives you that va-va-boom that your lashes need. For lip, I'm going to go in with one of my favorites, Pillow Talk Intense 3 from Charlotte Tilbury. Let's give her a fresh sharpen. Making sure your liner is nice and sharpened like this, making sure that you have a good tip just makes applying your lip liner that much easier. So again, using my mirror, I'm going to line my lips. I can overline, so I start in the Cupid's bow and bring it right around like so. I'm sorry, it's so hard to talk and do your lips at the same time. And I do the same thing on both sides. And at this point, I don't mind if I don't have all the pigment that I want on the lip line. I'm really just building out the lip. Very much so like underpainting or contouring for the lip is what we're doing with this brown lip liner. Now I'm gonna go in and fill in more of the lip with more of the liner. See, now we're talking. Look at that. Look at that lip liner. Blush, we're actually going to use the color that we used to do our underpaint, Jubilee. These are cheek and lip products. I combined cheek and lip. Cheap. They're cheap products. No, they're luxurious products that are affordable, definitely not cheap, but we're using this on our lip now. Go in with my finger and then just tap on the lip. Y'all know I speak about everything being cohesive and that this just brings it all together. How cutie. Now, I do like my lip just to be a little bit more nudie, so just going in with our brightening shade of concealer and literally just adding a dot. Last but certainly not least, I'm a gloss girl and I'm obsessed with the Makeup Forever nude lip glosses. They went to work. And the wand, like, what? Get into the wand. So pretty. And it has like the most beautiful cooling sensation. And she looks so beautiful. One last step before being done. Setting. First, using the Makeup Forever Jumbo Continuous Setting Mist. I don't want to be too matte today. I actually want to give more of a glow since we already set with powder. So now I'm just going to go in with the Fix Plus Pink Light. I love that sound. I'm so obnoxious. Spray it out. That's just going to bring that glow to the surface that I love. Yes, everything looks so good. Now with our foundation brush that just had the residue of Blowing Bomb powder, I'm just going to press everything in. Especially since that pink light has some shimmer. So I just don't want the shimmer to be static on the face. I mean, be so for real, how good does this skin look? Are we controlled? Because this is great makeup. This is snatched. It still looks like you. It looks lived in. It looks luxe. It's clean but elevated. It's giving that look where someone's like, I want to look natural. Like, I just want to look so natural. But baby, this is natural. This is layers. This is steps. This is building a foundation of makeup. This is what great makeup looks like. And y'all know I got you with all the tips and tricks. I hope I see you next week. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns in the comment sections. Let me know if you want to see a specific video. I'd love to create that for you. Make sure you don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a video. And I'll see y'all next time. Bye.